I want to talk about corporal punishment. Whooping your kids, that's what I want to talk about. Now, many of you, Morgan, already know that I am opposed to hitting little people. I am opposed to the use of violence on small children to correct behavior. And if anybody disagrees with me, I want to know why. Why do you think that it is a valuable tool to use in child rearing?
Because I said so.
Oh! That's how it starts.
Because white people don't hit their kids, and then their kids go shoot up schools.
Black kids who get whooped all the time shoot up.
They shoot each other. They don't shoot
in school. Yeah, maybe specific.
Hey, you supposed to put your kid in timeout at Walmart.
You said how are you supposed to do it? Are you supposed to beat your kids in the Walmart?
No, I'm not saying either way.
I think there is a line that if you cross, you know, it's either considered beating.
The moment you hit a child.
No. I'm saying, like I said before, your kids, you know, kids acting a fool in Walmart. You know, he won't shut up.
Well, Timothy, you don't stop right now. I'll count to 3.
No, that doesn't. Personally, I don't think that works.
I don't know if my auntie, I don't know if she actually hits her children, but I know that when she starts to count, they stop doing whatever it is.
That could be.
That could be it. I don't know. I've never seen her get to 1. As soon as she says 3, in that countdown, she gets the desired effect.
Surprised when it started 2 one day.
I don't know if she hits the kids. I've never seen her hit these little kids, but she does.
She's so fast.
She gives them more freedom than a lot of parents do. Like, she will let them like run all over the place inside of the store, as long as they don't get out of her sight or anything like that, or if in a restaurant they do get to wander around a little bit. But if she does have to get them back in order, she does do a little countdown thing. I know she does timeouts. I see her do the timeouts. They hate the timeouts. Why is it that we can't use that kind of approach if the person that you're trying to correct, if the behavior of the person you're trying to correct is a small child?
Have you ever spent a extended period of time around children?
Absolutely.
Babysitting for not 2 hours, 2 weeks, where you're the sole.
No.
Here's the thing. Little
hit
kids,
someone else's kids anyway.
Below the age of 4, we'll just say, don't know shit. You're hitting that kid, no. But a 5-year-old, they start getting, they get their personality, and they know their right and wrong. And there's some kids that if you say, don't do that, I'm going to put you in timeout, they go sit in timeout and they twiddle their thumbs for 5 minutes, and they're happy as can be. Don't give a shit. I'm not saying you should beat your child, but sometimes a spank on the butt is enough to get them to listen. And I almost guarantee your aunt, probably gave them a spanking, which is why they're scared to shit to get back to 1.
I remember getting beat.
I got my fair share of spanking. Taught me to, when they say no, you have to listen. Some kids, hey, seriously, don't do that is enough. Other kids, it's not, because they're too strongly willed.
So if it isn't enough, if telling a kid stop doing that at the age of 5 or 6 or 7 isn't enough, then what can you do besides hitting them that can correct their behavior, if anything? Because there are some parents who never hit their kids, and they grow up to be normal people just like the rest of us. Mainly because in real life, spanking isn't an actual consequence for doing anything beyond childhood.
It's called a death penalty. That's what it is.
Well, I think hitting your kids worked a whole lot better back then because there wasn't much you could take away from them. You can't work in the field today.
As children. There are tons of people on death row that were hit as kids.
How you know?
Some of them actually abused. What's that fine line that you guys talk about where you cross, I'm just spanking them for discipline, toward abuse. Once you cross that line, there are some of them who are on death row who actually talk about serious abuses in their childhood. So what I'm asking is there anything that you can do with a child, with a young child, besides hitting them to correct their behavior?
I know you mentioned
stop feeding.
Incentive.
You remove the incentives, oh, hey, you can't have your iPod today, or no TV,
no food.
Maybe no dessert.
And what if they don't fall for dessert?
When you say don't fall for it.
For example, when you become of a certain age, like Anna was saying, you start to realize that you can start doing things your own way. You know, you start to rebel.
Yeah.
So, just in the spirit of rebellion, they go, oh, I don't care. You can take away everything, you know. But,
okay, then they'll be without.
And then they're gonna,
until they are corrected, right? Or do you hit them? Or is that the time where it's like, okay, I'm smacking you in the face now because apparently you don't need your toys and you don't need your PlayStation. Now I'm going to hit you.
You take stuff away, they'll respond.
I got the shit kicked out of me when I was a kid, and now I'm an upstanding member of society. I'm a bit weird, but...
I guess the better question would be at what age you stop hitting, because there's a point when it's just like, you just can't get through a child. You know, a 12-year-old, they'd be like, okay, you just hit me, and what? You know, a 4-year-old, they'd be like, oh yeah, mommy and daddy are serious now.
Yeah, some people don't stop hitting their children as long as they live in the same house. So that means like by the time you're 17, it's not just spanking anymore. It's like, oh, we're going to fight now. Now I can take things away from you and you still don't care. Now I'm going to kill you.
15-year-old drunk driving, I'm going to slap the shit out of you.
Yeah. Like that's what it comes to, eventually. Sometimes. And I think it's, what's the reason why you would stop hitting your kid at the age of 12?
Wait,
if you were hitting them all the way.
Like
when they
for
do
me,
wrong.
it was like how I was raised. It wasn't a normal thing. If I got hit, I seriously fucked up. So I stopped doing things that got me that punishment. Like my brother I think he got like slapped upside the face because he drove home after drinking when he was 17. It's a good punishment. He didn't do anything up till that point. I don't think any of us had gotten any kind of punishment past the age of like 10, so he learned. You do something that's stupid again, you're gonna get hit again because you're an idiot. You shouldn't drive home drunk, especially underage, because you get completely screwed. So it's just a general, if you're using it correctly, like abuse is a whole different ballgame. But if you're using it correctly, it motivates you to do what's right, not...
Was that the first prescription for him driving home drunk? What? Was that the first thing that they did to him?
Well, it was with that specific thing. He had been caught underage drinking, and they had grounded him, and he'd been grounded for like a month. And then the day after he got ungrounded, he drove home after drinking. So that was what happened.
Take his keys.
So that's an elevation.
Take them keys. That's what you need to do.
Well, they did that too after that.
So after one try, they mess up. Second time, then you can get violent. My thing is, why do people think it's okay to get violent with their own kids if you cannot get violent with anyone else in society? Well, you can to defend yourself. You can to defend yourself. Or if it's a sanctioned fight like what you do. But other than that, you can't hit anyone else.
Ain't no kids, my friend. I guarantee you. Motherfucker chop their hand off, they never gonna steal nothing else, are they? Damn.
Every time he steals something, chop off a finger. Like, bam.
Would we rather live in that kind of society?
Yes.
You would rather live in a society?
I guarantee your crime rate is lower. Guarantee your crime rate is lower. Because the punishments are harsh.
After 5 times, it's really hard to steal.
Well, in the United States, we do have a death penalty, but that doesn't stop anybody.
That doesn't stop anybody except for the person that's on the death row. The only person that's never gonna commit that crime again is a person that's gonna die.
What about serious sex offenders and castrating
about
them?
using those kinds of things as a deterrent for committing crimes. The death penalty is evidence that that isn't always going to work. There are people who are sentenced to death row for things that they knew they would get sentenced to death row for.
You still produce testosterone.
Well, maybe they didn't know they would get sentenced to death row. But they have done things. They still do things that would warrant a sentence to death row.
And then once people
They probably
still
didn't do it in the moment, like,
peed on a straw.
I'm going to die if I do this. They probably didn't think about that.
Throw that whole thing on the table.
They say, man. Pretty sure it's proven that if it's harsher sentencing or consequences.
You know what happens in Singapore when you chew gum or if you litter? You get beat with a cane.
Yeah. How many people you think throw the shit on the ground?
Absolutely no one. Singapore is clean as shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so that is the kind of society we would want to live in.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't litter. It's not that hard to throw some shit in the trash can, bro. Like, damn.
Recycle.
I'm just gonna fold this up. It'll take a lot less. You'll take a lot less stuff away from home with you.
I agree.
Guaranteed.
But then that leads to really tough criminals because they're used to getting beat.
So we've been literate since you was 3. Never stop littering.
We're gonna need backup.
Can we jump through topics?
Black Santa.
Black Santa. No, one of the things that he pointed out though, because you see it a lot in Europe, is it's actually the culture is different to where people actually want to take cabs. It's like it's the norm. I think here in America we glorify drinking and driving. Stupid behavior when we're drunk. It's like the norm. That's what we do. It's the American way. And if you're raised in a society where that's the thought, what are you going to expect? The kids see it at a very early age, so.
Your kids see you getting punched in the face for driving drunk. Guarantee you they don't want to drive.
That really big man came out of nowhere and hit Dad. I know what I'm not going to do.
Okay.
What'd you do, Dad? Drove drunk.
You recycle?
The thing about America too is driving's a right. In America, we believe driving is a right. It's a privilege. That's why in Germany it costs like
it takes like
$1,000
years
to
and
get a
stuff.
license. That's why the biggest difference between
Here's how can we make it incumbent upon officers all across the country to start physically putting people in check? Anybody.
Well, it happens anywhere. It's like we don't.
What about our driving ferries? Who were we talking about
We don't
that?
have to make it incumbent upon law.
So remember driving ferries?
You just make up some new
So
words.
let's say that you go out somewhere, let's say you go to the state of Texas and you break some law that you were not aware of, and some guy comes up with a cane and just starts beating the living.
Next time you go to Texas, you will look up all the laws you need to.
Would you take it?
Would I take an ass whooping in Saudi Arabia?
Here, in Texas.
I would say yes. If I was there.
You would take it. You would just take
And if that was a law, yeah. Well, first of all, I don't like the police.
I'm asking you, would you take it?
That's
Would
not
you
your
take
fault.
it? Probably. And is there room for abuse?
There's always room for abuse. That's why communism isn't the best government system, just because of
Hey, you got one comment shit here.
Oh, he said the C word. You said the C word.
it's
Try it again.
to be the
Try it
best, but it's not because of human corruption. And so there's always abusing power.
Yeah, but let's stop that from what's the difference between.
Who polices the police?
Yeah, what's the difference between the police officers now and police officers who be given the right to physically harm you?
The fact that it would occur more often. Some police officers are always on the edge of wanting to hit you with something. It has explained this. It has explained that there are times where he's just ready to just give somebody the worst day of their life.
It's a power trip.
And like he said, it's a power trip. And you become extremely impatient with people who do the exact same kinds of things, the same offenses over and over and over. And he says he hates it when he catches someone in a lie. Like he says that's when he really wants to give somebody a bad day, as if they lied to him, even about the smallest thing. And I think it would occur much more often, police brutality. Not only then, it probably wouldn't be a thing that we would complain about, because we live in a society where it's totally okay to get, living day.
Well, that's what you would have to live with. If you wanted to decrease the crime rate, then you gotta increase the
beatings.
abuse. You have to increase the abuse of power.